Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Ready, Set, Replay, the ultimate video game replay podcast. I'm Daniel, joined as always by my best friend, Skyler.
Let's play some games today.
Let's play some games. This week, we're talking about Kirby 64, the Crystal Shard. But before we can talk about this cute little baby boy, we gotta go back, Skyler.
Let's hit it.
What? Skyler, it's June 26th of the year 2000. Yeah, that's right. It is exactly 3 days after Deus Ex came out, and someone is probably still playing it.
Me, probably.
Someone who bought it day of.
It took so long.
Someone who bought it day of is still stuck on Liberty Island.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
In the world of music, not much has changed, except that Be With You by Enrique Iglesias is now number one, having passed up Try Again by Aaliyah. Other than that, everything is the same. In the world of movies, we got one new movie that is, for some reason, not tracking on the box office, which is a little disappointing, but Chicken Run has apparently come out.
Ooh, Mel Gibson is a chicken.
Mel Gibson was a chicken in it?
Mel Gibson is the rooster in it.
Oh my god. I've never seen the movie. I never touched the stuff myself.
It's the studio that does Wallace and Gromit.
Makes sense. I've seen pictures of it.
Claymation. It's cute. It's fine. I like Wallace and Gromit better, but it's fun.
You're a real Gromit.
I am a Gromit, 100%.
The box office looks exactly the same as it has before. Me, Myself, and Irene still at number one. Big Mama's House still sticking around at number 3.
Oh, Big Mama.
Can't get rid of that. And Gladiator still in top 5 at number 5. I mean, it's a good-ass movie, but
it's a good one.
She's been in theaters a minute. In the world of sports entertainment, we had WWF's King of the Ring 2000, and it was not very good.
King of the Ring 2000. I can't off the top of my head remember who wins this. Is this like Viscera or something?
It is not Viscera.
Okay.
The man who wins the championship, or not the championship, the crown, I guess, wins the tournament, is in fact Kurt Angle becomes King of Ring.
Oh, okay. That's pretty good.
After last defeating Rikishi in the finals.
Yeah.
It also features a really embarrassing evening gown match between Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe, where they come to the ring dressed in evening gowns with fake boobs, and with the expressed purpose of stripping each other down to their bra and panties. But then, in fact, neither of them win because Pat Patterson is holding the Hardcore Championship at the time, so Crash Holly interrupts the match, strips them both to their underwear, and then pins Pat Patterson for the title.
Now, everything I know about how the Hardcore Championship works, which for those who don't know is you can just pin anybody for it any time, any place, and then you're the champion, and you run away with it.
Yeah.
You don't need to strip anybody naked to do that.
No, I think he did that one for him. That one was for good old Holly. And the main event was a 3-on-3 tag match between the McMahon family, Vince, Shane, and Triple H.
Okay.
Versus The Undertaker, Kane, and The Rock.
Oh.
It was an interesting match wherein the three baby faces, our Brothers of Destruction and The Rock, were sort of vying for who was going to be number one contender for Triple H's title. He's the current holder of the WWF Championship.
Makes sense.
So Linda McMahon, having no longer been in a coma, I actually don't know if this is before or after coma. I'm going to say after. After coma, before being Secretary of Education, she was like, well, what if you all just get in the match together and whoever gets the pin gets the title?
See, this is this bullshit in wrestling around this era. This is how David Arquette became world champion in WCW. Is this exact shit?
Yeah. Well, at least it wasn't Linda McMahon. But yeah, so they pretty easily are gonna beat the McMahons and Triple H because they're three of the biggest, toughest badasses in all of wrestling at the time.
But they're like, I want to pin him. No, I want to pin him. Is that
correct?
The problem?
Yeah. But they do still win. The Rock ends up getting the pin. He pins Vince and takes the title for himself. He is now.
Oh, so Triple H wasn't even pinned.
Triple H was not even pinned. Yeah, Vince ate that one. So
wrestling can be stupid, folks. I'm sorry to say, but
I would say at this point most of the time it's stupid. but sometimes you enjoy the stupid.
The important thing to take away is that Kurt Angle won King of the Ring. Kurt Angle's cool.
Yeah, he deserves it probably. And then just one of the bigger things that happened, honestly, in the entire year was that Bill Clinton announced the first draft of the Human Genome Project had been finished. So this is the complete mapping of the human DNA structure, which has led to a lot of medical breakthroughs. And it was a huge step into the future. It's one of the biggest impacted things on medicine in the last, well, in our lifetimes. So there you
go. There's a joke about Bill Clinton and DNA.
He knows a thing or two about cleaning up DNA, for sure.
Okay, yeah. You helped me translate that one. I appreciate it.
But Skyler, we're talking about Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards. For those who don't know, Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, this is the entire description that it gives you. It's a side-scrolling platformer in the main Kirby series featuring Kirby and some of his friends.
Mm-hmm.
That's the entire description that
Nintendo gives us. You know what? That's very accurate.
It's completely true. There's truthfully not a ton to this game. It's a very basic game. But Skyler, what are your top-level thoughts on Kirby 64?
I had never played this one before. In fact, I have played very few Kirby titles in my time. I like Kirby as a cute little mascot character, but I'm not super well versed in his actual games. So this one is probably the first one I've ever fully rolled credits on.
Sure.
Which I did just hours before this recording. But I thought it was cute. I was surprised, I guess, because I hadn't played it before, didn't know anything about it, but you know it's an N64 title, so you're thinking similar along the lines of Mario 64, what that did. Then you boot it up and you're like, okay, no, this is just straight up a side-scrolling platformer disguised in 3D.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it works. I know that you're not the biggest fans of side-scrolling platformers, so I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll see what Daniel has to say about this, but it is what it is, and it works, and it's very cute. Kirby's a cutie patootie, and his friends are all cute too, and it's got some good to passable music throughout, and the worlds are what they are, and the gimmick of how the gameplay works is Kirby eats dudes and then absorbs their power, and then you have to mix and match powers to unlock different powers that solve things that the game doesn't tell you how to solve.
Correct. Yeah. and some of those powers are even fun to use. Not most, but some.
Some of them are dog shit.
Some of them make the game worse.
Absolutely, and we'll get into that. We're not gonna full tier list them, but we'll
talk
about what's really good and what sucks donkey doo doo. But
yeah, oh my god,
what did you think of it?
I don't like it. I don't think it's bad. To be clear, I think it is an adequately made game. I think it does exactly what it sets out to do, and it does that thing well. I just think that I don't care about that thing at all. So that's not awesome for me personally. I do think it's really cute. I like Kirby. I like his friends, like you said. And I think the music's pretty good. Nintendo always kind of nails it with music. And this is not their best work, but certainly good. So, I had some good stuff to go with. It's not like it was a complete wash for me. But I found it to just be really repetitive and straightforward to the point of just mind numbing almost, where you're okay, it's every level's the same thing, it's just where are the shards, we got to do the thing, and then I'm going to fight this boss, and is it going to be one of the bosses that stands perfectly still and does absolutely nothing, or is it going to be one of the bosses that's a real pain in the ass for no reason?
There's some mini bosses throughout that you can just absolutely dog walk in less than a second.
Yeah.
And then there are some that are gonna kind of fuck your day up.
For sure. Absolutely.
And then each of the actual final bosses of each world were interesting at the very least. And then at the very end, not the very end, but right before the very end, terrible kick to the crotch, I think.
Oh yeah, that last boss, what a fucking ramp up in difficulty.
He was something. That one does seem like someone had the idea of, because for him specifically, there's 7 different elements that you can absorb to create new powers throughout the game. There's rock, there's ice, there's fire, there's, now we're kind of like getting out of elements, but more. There's like a cutting thing, a cutting boomerang, and a
they are fire, ice, stone, needle, bomb, spark, cutter.
Needle, bomb, spark, cutter. Yes.
Yeah.
Spark is electricity. And then this this penultimate boss fight is like, it's going to use all of the 7 different elements or power types, and you can't hurt it unless you use that thing. So you can't even really take powers into the fight. You just kind of have to deal with what you have. And some of them are like easy to dodge, some of them are much less easy to dodge. And it's like, my reaction during that fight was, I remember when this was a game for children at the beginning.
Right. Yeah.
And now it's not.
Definitely the first, like, because there's 7 worlds. Probably the first, I don't know, at least 5 of them are like, wow, we're doing cutesy little whatever baby stuff. And like, I think even up to the very end, the most of the levels are like that. But then you get to like, man, which bosses? It's the one you're talking about, Miracle Matter. That's what his name is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's kind of a pain in the ass. The big robot from the ice planet, he's kind of a pain in the ass.
That's the world before, yeah.
And then for me, I also got my butt kicked a little bit by the killer whale, whose name is apparently Acro, and the like multicolored pixel guys, who is just called Pix from the second world. I did definitely get killed by them at least once, and I was like, this is embarrassing. This is a game for actual babies.
They throw some tough curveballs at you.
Yeah, but then, you know, in the middle there you get like the first boss that you fight, or the first like world boss, is the tree, who is the boss in every Kirby movie or Kirby game. He is the first boss in every single one. And he's like not bad at all. And then there's like the lava guy's not bad either. But everyone else is like, this is a game for babies. Like, it's not super hard, but it's hard enough that you're like, I don't know, the kids are enjoying this.
It's enough of a curve in the difficulty that you weren't ready for it.
Yeah, for sure. But it's not necessarily terrible. I do think I was disappointed. I was disappointed that we're on the N64, but we're not really making use of that. Like, the fact that it is still 2D, but it's just like kind of 3D.
Sure.
Is a little bit disappointing to me. I was expecting, not like, you know, open world run around or whatever, but I was expecting a little bit more than that. So that was definitely a big disappointment for me. And then the control scheme it took me a good minute to like get used to. That would be, I think, my other like big gripe with it, is it's like, oh, I can only use the D-pad to move. I can't move with the thumbstick. That's completely useless. And then all of the other buttons, like on the right hand side of the controller, I had to relatively often remind myself what some of them did, because it was like, okay, I know how to like swallow guys.
Yeah.
Clip that. But I don't know the number of times that I would like try to do the thing where you like spit out your power so that you can throw it at another guy, and I would instead just like not do that. Was way too high. By the end of the game, like, I got it, but the first maybe 2-3 worlds I was like, why do I keep messing this up?
So what would mess with me more often than not is because when you suck up an enemy, you just like hold the B and you suck him up, and then you press down on the D-pad to swallow him and take his power. But then you can't do that. That's not how you stack the abilities. I'm just explaining how Kirby works for people who don't know.
Right.
You have to then spit out the power you have and then chuck it like a weapon at the next guy, and that'll just automatically combine to create a new thing upon killing the enemy. But like the button I would use to pull out the power up out of Kirby was R, but you could also press Y, and I didn't figure that out until like closer to the end of the game, where I deduced that was every once in a while there was a thing where I would like press B, but I would also accidentally clip Y, and then I would just like pull out my power and throw it. And I lost my power multiple times by doing that. And I'm like, why does that keep happening? Come to find out that there's 2 buttons that works to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely took me a minute to figure it out. It's straight. Honestly, a lot of the time though, I found it felt better to just not have a power. Sometimes just being regular Kirby, especially in boss fights, like the actual boss fights, just being normal vanilla Kirby, a lot of the time I thought was just easier.
It depends. It depends on the power, I think. I think there's a couple of powers that, like that flame sword you can make has like really good reach and versatility, and you can mess dudes up with that. But then, say for example, you're stuck with Kirby becomes a big rock.
Yeah, which that one sucks ass.
That doesn't help a lot. And which, by the way, is how I had to fight the Orca as a big rock.
That sucks so hard. I hated that one. I did the one that I kept getting that I was like, I don't want to use this, was the one where you turn into a bow and arrow.
That one
sucks.
I literally never used that. I mean, I discovered it and I was like, this is garbage. I'm not touching this.
It's so bad.
But then you have to use it to get one of the shard pieces, like in like the last world, I think. And I was stuck going through it and having to like do the little challenges that like dudes are gonna keep spawning in this room. And I was the bow and arrow guy, and I'm like, this is the worst fucking thing ever.
Yeah. It's not great. The ones that like really worked for me, where I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna keep these ones forever, was like not a ton of them. It was the shuriken, like the exploding shurikens.
Yeah,
that one slaps.
That one quite a bit.
That one's great. The drill, like the Mr. Driller guy, and then probably maybe like firework was pretty good. I don't know. Most of the ones I got, I was just like, nah, I'm not feeling this one actually. This kind of sucks.
One that I thought was funny was there's the spike one where he just becomes spiky, pointy needle Kirby.
Yeah.
And then the upgraded version of that where you just double down on spikes is he just becomes like a Swiss Army knife of pointy objects.
Yeah, there's like a pencil and a cactus and like a bee stinger.
And the way to use that is just basically just to jump, become it, and just see what you land on.
Yeah. I'm spinning my arms. If you run into them, it's your fault.
And it works is the crazy thing.
Yeah, it's not that one's not terrible. I think mechanically the best one is probably the refrigerator.
I did not become a refrigerator.
So there's a refrigerator and the attack is that you throw out food, but then you can eat the food and it heals you.
I did not. What combination is this?
I think it's just ice electric.
Oh, that would make sense.
I only got it like once, but
is ice the rarest thing to come across? I think it is.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm gonna say yes. I would say that would be my guess.
Multiple times throughout where I was like, I need to become ice. I don't remember where to go to get the ice thing. Or that happened to me with electricity too, and I just forgot that it was like the second world was there as an electric thing, like right at the start. Which that's the thing that annoyed me most is, and I guess you could say it's my fault because of how I was doing it, but if I finished a world and saw like, oh, I missed a crystal shard, I'm not moving on until I get all the crystal shards. So then you figure out where it is, and some of them are like stuck behind certain walls you need to break, but they're color coded to show you what power you need to break it.
Yeah.
And then so that's how you know, like, okay, I need ice and whatever. So then it's your job to think like, where was ice? Where was ice? I don't know. And then you just end up backtracking. That to me was the worst part of this game, was having to backtrack to certain spots to find abilities that aren't available in the world or area where you need them. You just have to play through and know like, I need to come back here with that power. Which like I get it, but it's also really annoying.
If this was a game that was like clearly targeting like a wide audience range, then I would understand something like that. This is very clearly a kids game, and that's not to put it down. Kids games like should exist, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think doing that where it's like, oh, this is color coded, but you can't get the things that you need, is a weird thing to put in a kids game, especially the parts where you'll like beat a boss, and then the crystal will be like behind a wall or something, and you beat this boss and you don't even get a reward for it, and it's like, what?
It's just the shard is stuck in a little cage that is colored to two things that you do not have, and also one of them isn't even in this level.
Yeah, like that's
a massive bummer.
It's just not fun, you know. And I did go back and like had to get all of the crystal shards, because if you don't get, because if you, there's the description that I read said that there was 100 crystal shards. There's not. There is in fact 72. Okay. Which is a lot. You're probably going to end up getting, I think on your first run, if you don't go back, I think you probably end up with like in the ballpark of 50, 60 of them. And then you have to go back for the rest of them. And a lot of the ones you have to go back for are just annoying, because it's not like, oh, I got to find this thing, or like I have to finish this challenge or whatever. There's no like extra skill thing that you have to do to get them. It's literally just like either you just have to have a certain power. Yeah. Or it's like, oh, it's just kind of hidden in this other corner of this place that you didn't look. And it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that's like kind of a bummer, because if you don't get all 72 of the crystal shards, you get the bad ending.
Like, is there actually a bad ending?
Yeah.
I assumed that you just didn't have access to the final boss, and therefore, hey, you have to go back and get all the shards.
So it's not, I guess it's not like a bad ending, but it kind of is. So the story, if you can call it that, of this game is that this planet called like Ribbon Star or something. There's no, I should say, there's almost no text in this game. There's no dialogue. No one talks. So this is all from just me reading things about the game afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, you can
and that too.
Read between the lines of what you're seeing, but then also context of looking it up online. Right. I'm not against that either.
There's this planet called Ribbon Star, because if you didn't know, Kirby's a spaceman. And it gets attacked by a monster called Dark Matter, who is just a floating like black cloud with one big eye on it. And for some reason, Dark Matter wants the crystals that this planet, the one big crystal that this planet has. So they strap a fairy to the crystal, and the fairy is called Ribbon, and then launch that bitch into space like Kal-El. But the thing gets exploded by Dark Matter on the way there, and then rains crystal shards all over 7 other planets or whatever. And so you have to collect all the shards of it so that you can put it back together, so you can, I guess, fight Dark Matter. But it's like, well, y'all already had it. Like, you could have just fought him right then with it, I guess. But the bad ending is you collect them all, or you don't collect them all, and you get back, and you beat the one boss. You beat, what's his name? Miracle Matter or whatever the fuck.
Miracle Matter, yeah.
And you win, and then all of your friends, you and DDD and Waddle Dee and the weird painter guy who's just a human, and I'm not really sure how he fits in this world.
Her name, I think it's a her. Her name is Adeline.
That's right. I did write that down somewhere. But you all just hop into a little spaceship and like jet on home. And then as soon as you leave, the queen, who is now possessed by Dark Matter, turns and does like an evil look at Ribbon, who's holding the crystal. So it's like, oh, evil one, I guess, or whatever. And I don't know. So it is like definitely a bad ending. You don't actually, I guess, see anything bad happen. Like, it's not like, her mouth unhinges and she swallows Ribbon whole or something.
Oh my god, it's assumed. We assume that happens.
Right. Well, why should Kirby be the only one who can gobble me, swallow me?
Whoa, my goodness, Kirby's a baby.
Yeah, he's a wap.
Oh, excuse you.
I'm just saying.
I don't like this.
He's a weird ass person.
That's true. I'll sign off on that one.
But yeah, and then if you get them all, then you fight a second boss who is called O2, like oxygen. And then, but it's a completely different mechanic. It's like a rail shooter instead of how the entire rest of the game has been.
It's almost like a Star Fox boss fight.
It's very much a Star Fox boss fight. Yeah, now that you say that makes a lot of sense actually. And then what you get a medal like it's the end of Star Wars, and then the fairy kisses you and you die.
Yeah, he falls down some stairs, but Kirby doesn't have a neck to break, so it's okay.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's weird. I do like all the friends. I think Waddle Dee's cute. Although I didn't think he was a friend. I thought Waddle Dee was an enemy. Turns out he's not. D definitely an enemy, but like he's a friend this time.
Yeah, it happens.
The Adeline thing confuses me. It confuses me because that's just a human. That's just a human girl who can paint things and make them real.
Yeah, that's her devil fruit power.
That's her devil fruit power. That is. She's got the what's his name? God, what is that One Piece character?
She's in Conjuro.
Conjuro, that's right.
That's what he does. Yeah, I was thinking of the girl from Baroque Works, the little kid.
I don't even barely remember her as.
She was Mr. Three's partner. Now we're talking about One Piece. It's indecipherably people who clicked on this to hear about Kirby.
If Kirby collected the One Piece,
yeah, if Kirby, he would do it. He would do it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, and his crew would be just a bunch of absolute dorks.
Yeah, this is his crew here.
Oh man, one other thing that I wanted to give out about was the Aqua Star world. Water levels are always bad, and this was no exception. But it's like multiple levels in a row.
Oh yeah, sure.
And it's just
I don't think it was. I think the worst thing that the water did in this, because of its side-scrolling nature, was it just made you move a little slower sometimes.
Yeah.
Like luckily, there was no you didn't have to traverse on 3 different planes or anything like that.
No, yeah, but also like Kirby's already kind of slow in this game, and then you get in the water and you're like, ugh.
He does. I forgot that you could double tap to move faster, which doesn't even really make you move that much faster.
It really doesn't. And you can't. And I don't even know if you can do that underwater. But
I don't think you can.
When you're underwater and there's like a current, it's like I guess I'm just going where this is pushing me. I got no control over this right now.
Well, Daniel, let me tell you, when you're underwater and you're the rock Kirby, and you can only jump forward a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
Takes a minute.
Yeah, I bet. That was one of the boss fights that I actually struggled with, was that stupid killer whale, because I beat him on my first try, but then the ground fell out because there's a second phase, and I died because I had put the controller down to take a note.
Which is the first time that a boss has a second phase. That's the first one it throws at you.
Yeah. So I died, and then when I went back in to try it again, he started doing all kinds of different shit that he had not done the first time that I fought him. He's doing flips and shit, and I'm like, where was this?
You've truly activated the real fight.
He saw his own death, and he was like, well, I can't do that again. And I respect it, but goddamn.
Yeah.
Hey, did you play the mini games at all?
Mini games?
Hey, so there were mini games.
There were mini games?
Yeah, on the main menu, there's two other things you can do. One of them is mini games. They're very simple, so you didn't miss anything not playing them. There's only 3 of them. It's the 100-yard hop, where it's just a race where one of the buttons makes you hop forward 1 space, and the other one makes you hop forward 2 spaces. But there's water, so you have to avoid the water, because if you fall into it, then you get pushed back.
I see. Making me do math, are you?
A little bit. And then there's bumper crop bump, which is you move. You're just walking left to right, catching fruit, and you have to catch more fruit than the other guy. And then there's checkerboard chase, which is you and 3 other guys are on a chessboard, and you do an attack, and it knocks all of the blocks in front of you down. And so it's basically that one Fall Guys thing. And you all have 5 lives or something, and whoever's the last one to fall 5 times wins.
Oh.
So that's all it is. And then there's also the index of enemies that's on the main menu.
Yeah, every level at the little picnic you can jump to get stuff, and one of the things is cards, and that fills out something that I'd never looked at, so I don't know how much I did. Yeah,
I think I got 1 or 2.
I think I got a handful of the cards because I went through more levels than I would like to admit.
That's fair.
Before realizing that you can just hit the try again and then leave with your health and item that you have.
Damn. Yeah, I didn't know that either, so that's cool.
Yeah.
But I stopped going for those because I read in the guide that you can get duplicates, and I was like, well, then fuck me. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. There's 70 of them or 80 of them that you have to collect, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing if I can get dupes, not a shot. I ain't doing it. No, no, no.
That's offensive.
Yeah. Yeah, that was not great for me. Scott, do you have anything else about this game that you want to talk about? It's been sort of a shorter episode, but it's been a pretty simple game, so I guess that fits.
There's only one thing I can think of. So like a handful of these power-ups that you get have kind of like a secret extra thing they can do. And I didn't learn what all those things are. I don't know how many of them actually have them. But what I do know, and I know that you know this because we needed to do it for a shard, is we were just supposed to know that a stone gerbil can climb a wall.
Right. Okay. So that one, because there's one of the powers, I forget what two things you have to get to do it, but it's rock and something. And then when you do the thing, you turn into like one of 4 or 5 different animals.
I think it's rock and cutter because we're supposed to be like chiseling out new forms of the rock.
That does make sense actually. But you turn into, and I only know this because I read about it. You turn into friends of Kirby's from an earlier game. And so if you had played that game, you would know that stupid hamster can wall jump.
I see.
But we didn't know that because who the fuck, you know, I did write it in here. I
think your average like 5-year-old is going to register that.
No, God, no. And they're just not going to.
Even if they had played another Kirby game.
No, and they're never going to get the true ending of the game. A 5-year-old, no shot. No shot. No. They probably wouldn't even know that there was one. They would see that the queen like do an evil stare at Ribbon at the end. They'd be like, "Oh, there's going to be a sequel or whatever."
What I have to say about Kirby, I think just across the board, maybe not all of them, which negates my across the board comment, but a lot of Kirby games, they're deceptively easy at the start. Like, oh, this is a baby game. And then by the time, like, the final boss of this is literally a biblically accurate angel.
A little bit, yeah.
And what I'm saying is Kirby could not beat his own game, I don't think.
No, he's too cute, too innocent. I was going through the names of all the different enemies, and I found a couple of funny ones.
Oh yeah?
So as we know from Game Grumps, the guy who throws bomb is called Poppy Brothers Jr.
Poppy Brothers, yeah.
Poppy Brothers Jr. What we may not have known is that the little knight guy who throws
he's got boomerangs too. I'm trying to remember what it is.
His name is Sir Kibble.
Yeah, Sir. Okay, yeah. Don't know why.
The little fire dragon guy who is just like a head. His name is Galbo.
Galbo. See, I have this open as well.
And the little missile is called Pedo.
Oh, don't like that so much.
Because it's a torpedo.
Oh yeah. Pedo. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
You got, hey, if you're playing as Kirby, you got to watch out for those pedos, dude. They're gonna get you, and they probably work for the government.
As stated before, Kirby is a baby, so the pedos launch right towards him.
that stupid killer whale was rocking around with a bunch of pedos.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he was on the dark matter list.
Oh, the O2 files.
The O2 files.
Make sure we keep this Kirby video nice and topical for
nice
people
and topical,
10 years
baby.
From now.
Hey, are you ready for some trivia?
Yes, please.
I only found one that was of interest, but I will share it with you because I think it was funny. So Kirby was not originally supposed to be called Kirby. That wasn't going to be his name.
What was his name?
His name, I shit you not, was going to be Twinkle Popo.
Twinkle Popo. That's his Kryptonian name.
His name is his God-given name was Twinkle Popo, and they were like, that's too much, so they eventually at one point changed it to Popopo.
Okay.
Which then they were like, what if we went with something completely different and called him Kirby? But Kirby Mass Attack references his original name because it takes place on one of the levels is called the Popopo Islands. So there you go. You didn't know about your boy Popo.
Twinkle Popo.
That just feels like such a made up thing. That feels like someone went in and edited the wiki. If that's not true, I that's hilarious.
What happens, do you think, if you just Google Twinkle Popo without any other context?
It's reminding me of I'm getting like an audio stim of Santa Claus, Santa Claus 2, where he's just naming all the different names of Santa Claus.
That's the first one. That's the first Santa Claus. He says Popo Gijo.
Popo Gijo. And that's what I'm getting. So hopefully that.
No, I have a similar vocal stem. That's why I clocked it so quickly. Yeah, if you search Twinkle Popo, it brings up the first Kirby game. So yeah, this is true.
Hell yeah. Good old Twinkle Popo. Skyler, it's that time.
Time to grade. I think this is a shorter episode for us.
For sure. It was a really simple game. There were not a whole hell of a lot to say about it. So I think that fits. But how are you feeling about Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards?
I'm feeling very similar to another game that we have recently played, and I think it's fair to kind of directly compare it being a Nintendo release side-scrolling platformer. It's fair to compare it to Wario Land 3, which had just come out recently and we had played. So that one I gave a 7 out of 10, and you gave something lower. I think it aggregated to like a 6 out of 10. I'm feeling around a 7 out of 10 for this as well, which seems to just be my baseline score. A lot of things I've gotten 7 out of 10. But I wouldn't rate this higher than Code Veronica, which also got a 7 out of 10. And I wouldn't rate this lower than The Sims, which I gave a 6. You know, so I think I'm sitting at a 7 for this again, although if I had to pick which one I preferred better, whether it be this or Wario Land, I would probably say this.
I agree. I think I liked this better than Wario Land. I give Wario Land a pretty low score if I remember right.
I give it a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, that fits. I was not happy with that game. This one I recognize, like, it is a pretty decent game. It's just not a game for me, like, at all on any level.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think I'm going to end up giving it a 6. I think it is, because on our scale, 6 is okay. And I think that's about right. I don't think it does anything that's like impressive or cool. There's nothing about this game that is going to have me like thinking about it or talking about it later. But I don't think it necessarily does anything wrong. I think it is an okay game. If you played this as a kid and this was your jam, I think that that's totally fine and normal. I just don't think that it holds up as a video game in 2025, like kind of at all.
That puts us at a 6.5 for this game, which is like an okay plus. And I think I'm willing to live with that. Now, the real question is, because we got to break a tie here, that is the same score as The Sims.
I would put The Sims above this. The Sims is like the go-to game in its genre, and Kirby is just like, it's like a B or C tier platformer at best.
So let me get okay. I think I personally would put Kirby above The Sims, but in both the interest of not having to phone a friend to break this tie, as we've established is what we do now.
Sure.
And also, I'm just gonna say I recognize The Sims icon status. Whereas this is just, in my eyes, another Kirby game.
Sure.
Therefore, I'm going to say that The Sims should sit above it. Yeah.
Nice. Hell yeah. We love a compromise. All right. So that puts it at a 6.5, just below The Sims in our rankings. And I think that feels about right. I wouldn't have been mad if it was like a 7 or something. I think that it is in that range. I think that you're pretty spot on with your take on that too. I just think that maybe it's more your speed than it was mine.
It sticks it at number 10 of our top 10 games of the year so far, which will definitely get knocked out.
For sure. There's like a Pokemon and a Zelda coming. It's not going to beat those.
Yeah, but it's but as of right now, we're like vaguely, roughly, maybe sort of close to halfway done with the year 2000.
This is I think one of the last games we're going to be playing from the month of June. So yeah.
So that means that at the halfway point, it was at top 10. So that's good.
It's not bad.
It's good for this game.
Way to go. I'm proud of it.
I feel like anyone who's going to follow our actual scores at first glance is just going to need to just understand the fact that 7 is a good thing from me.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it's
for sure. We'll put out like an infographic when we're done with the year 2000 of like the bell curve of how our stuff graded out and like what our top 10 was. That might be fun to do. We'll do that.
Although there's certain games, like I said last time we did a replay, I was like, oh, maybe Perfect Dark should have gotten a half a point bump, but I now have to stay true to how the list has shaken out so far,
right?
So that everything stays.
Right. Well, I imagine that another thing I assume we'll do when we're at the end is we'll pick like our games of the year, and that doesn't, I don't think necessarily have to be like the one we rated the highest.
No, not necessarily. But I'm fully anticipating that we have a Race at Replay game of the year, a Daniel game of the year, and a Skyler game of the year.
Yeah. I think that's exactly correct. I think we should do that.
And I know what mine's gonna be already. There's really no getting around it. So
damn, he really liked Legend of Dragoon.
That's number 1 right now. That's in the top. It is Dragoon's game to lose.
That's what I'm saying, baby. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, guys, if you want to tell us what your favorite game of the year 2000 is, whether we've played it so far or not, and make sure that we do play it, you can leave those comments.
Make sure that it's not medieval, too.
And make sure it's not medieval, too. We already tried that one, and it was not... We didn't watch that episode. Anyway, you can leave a comment about it on Spotify or YouTube. You can follow the show on Twitter at @RSR_POD, or you can follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Daniel J. McGee.
You can follow me on Blue Sky at Skyler8bit.
Until next time, everybody, play more games.
Play more games.
The game's just starting, the world's so bright. Jump right in, everything feels right. Let's play, take a trip back.